Watch as XRP stays over $3 as I record this video with no effort, despite the fact that there was definitely greater volatility today. Seeing it maintain at this level before to the last parabolic blow-off peak for XRP this market cycle, which incidentally is the second of two significant pumps that we receive for XRP per cycle, is quite amazing. In terms of US dollars or whatever fiat currency you like, the second pump is always far larger than the first. For years and years and years, the XRP community has believed that kind of price activity is feasible. The best is still to come, indeed. According to one of the 10 XRP chart analysts I interviewed for our most recent XRP Insider Hot Jam, the short-term goal is $10.47. If you haven't been involved with cryptocurrency for a long time, you could be thinking that it will take a lot longer to get to $10.47 in the near future. Not so fast. I don't know if he's right about the target. Although I don't personally predict prices, that kind of abrupt movement is what does occur. It happens quickly. XRP saw its biggest ever surge prior to this market cycle in 2017 and early 2018, rising from about 20 cents to $3.35 in just over 2 weeks. Without a doubt, it can go far faster than anyone had thought. Furthermore, there was no precedent for XRP reaching such a high level prior to that market cycle. Don't assume it can't then. These kinds of actions are really rather common in the cryptocurrency industry. Furthermore, XPAR has already demonstrated that it is the type of coin that can pull off such ridiculous stunts. I won't be surprised. Although I can't predict where it will peak, I can tell you that XRP has a history of moving swiftly in that direction. XRP is now trading at $3.08. The market did pull back earlier, and we dropped as low as $3.01. After plunging to a 24-hour low of $117,306.24, Bitcoin is currently slightly under $117,000. Bitcoin was able to briefly surpass $124,000. But even though we are no longer at the all-time high that was set a few days ago, I still think the best is yet to come. I don't mind, even though Bitcoin is at the top. Naturally, XRP and other altcoins will be the real hotspot. It is true that history rhymes. The fact that that is historically normal provides some comfort. This post was created this morning by Jelly, a chart analyst. He asserts that the primary focus of yesterday's debate was yesterday's inflation figures because Bitcoin is fully recovering from the post-PPI panic. He stated that the price stayed at the level of support. The CME gap was filled to a 75% degree. Once more, the price is above the 4-hour 50 EMA. There is still $120,000 available for assistance. The next step is price discovery. It is still possible for Bitcoin to reach its final parabola, as you can see. And you know what's going to happen next? Alts lose their minds. Chart analyst Mustache is certain about that. This is the total market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies on your screen, excluding Bitcoin. Total is also very close to printing a God candle that we haven't seen in a few years, he says. Additionally, he insists that he has been disseminating this message for centuries. You can see what he's stressing if you glance at the screen. Total 2 is the name of this chart. The most thrilling and delightful part of this cycle is still to come, and we haven't finished it yet. It's true that history rhymes in some way. Although it happens at the end of every market cycle, the final, exuberant blow off the top has not yet happened. It's coming, folks. The market participants are no longer interested in shifting their profits from Bitcoin to Ethereum, then Ethereum to various large cap stocks like XRP, and lastly to mid-cap and small-cap stocks. It's not as though human DNA has altered. People will still do it because they still find it interesting. To believe that a fundamental shift in human behavior is the most likely outcome would be foolish. No, folks, I don't think so. This post was made by a blockchain supporter on August 13th. We haven't seen anything since the Russell 2000, which is clearly composed of small cap stocks, started to falter a few days ago. This morning, he reposted that. Today's liquidation was a backtest so far, he said. I want to make it clear that there is nothing to fear. He went into great detail about how everything still looks pretty damn prime in his most recent video. Considering this and the fact that there are other resources and significant metrics to take into account, there's just no need to be particularly worried about this. That's the truth. This post is a vector altcoin. This refers to Bitcoin's superiority over ETH, or simply BTC. As stated here, Ethereum is poised to reach its highest point ever. Ethereum cycle is now underway. Bitcoin's dominance has dropped by 10% since July, while each has outperformed BTC by 110% since April, the largest outperformance since 2021. Alt season is here. We are now officially in alt season, according to perhaps 3 or 4 different analysts that I have seen. Numerous skilled analysts differ, expressing their own views on the veracity of the claim. Naturally, no institution has the power to determine what constitutes alt season. I noticed that people argue over whether it's alt season since it's subjective. In actuality, though, they merely disagree on what alt season is. Therefore, whether we are there or near there, we are moving in the right way. I am ecstatic to see this. Considering how much Ethereum has increased in value relative to Bitcoin at the moment, it's obvious to me that ETH only experienced local lows as markets reach bottoms. Yet many people were saying that Ethereum was doomed due to its low pricing. And now, as is customary when the season starts, it has soared to the upside. Why wouldn't you be ecstatic if you were trading cryptocurrencies? You have nothing to fear. It's unreasonable not to get enthusiastic here. Now is the moment, people, to become excited. It will come. If history repeats itself, as it almost always does, it will be alt season with XRP skyrocketing. Historically, when Bitcoin is making its final leg up, as it is at the moment, XRP's fund price activity is at its most dramatic. There is nothing more obvious. This post is from Crypto Wizard. I don't have to read it all, he said. However, he's also highlighting the Bitcoin sneak visual here. You know, he says, a new all-time high is coming. This is an exciting time, not a time for fear.